Well, welcome back to the Shenington Superprix. The 250 Nationals are up first. We'll move on to the 210 Challenge in a short while, but it's James Hassel and Ross Allen on the front row of the grid, with Lee Stamp and Martin Smith on row 2. From Tim Woods and Alex Burrows, Paul Lawson and Jack Love on row 4, and Ron Stamp and Richard Morris on row 5. Plenty of action right from the word go, and away we go down towards the first corner at Cafe, and through they go into the right-hander hairpin, all jostling nicely together. Good spread of the field, and they fly through the pits bend down Stratford Straight and up towards Stratford Corner. Nice little battle. Oh, a bit of a slide there from Lee Stamp, and he goes straight into the side of the 85 Ross Allen. And how on earth did he get away with that? Amazing kart control, and he was very lucky indeed. Not only that, but he manages to stick around in second place. Unbelievable.
Yes, held on to second place. Very lucky there. These guys have got a lot of respect for each other. Let's have a look at the replay. There's Stamp. He's locked it up on the brakes now. He's just held himself on the inside, resting against the 85 kart there, Jake.
Yes, indeed, Ross Allen. Now Ross Allen dives down the inside, trying to make the move on the inside for the hairpin, and he sticks it round the outside. Brilliant move there from Ross Allen, and he manages to get back past Lee Stamp. That is revenge as far as he is concerned. Very nicely done. James Hassel leading the way then in kart number 1, ahead of Ross Allen and Lee Stamp. A little bit of a lunge there from Tim Woods in the 96 as he has a look down the inside of the 91. Down the straight once again into Bruno Ferrari chicane.
Yeah, 91 kart, Jack Love, of course, through the Bruno chicane one more time. These guys, as I was saying before, we see a lot of nudging and contact, Jake, don't we, in the direct drive classes, the Rotax classes. But in these karts, they are so quick. These guys have a huge amount of respect for each other, because they know if things go pear-shaped in these karts, it can be painful at the very least. And we've got a kart off in the background there. That's Martin Smith, the 56 kart. He is out.
Well, that is a shame. He was obviously looking for a strong result here at the Superprix, and it's all come to naught, unfortunately. Just looking in the lower end of the field, Lawson is there in 7th place ahead of Morris, and Gutteridge in 9th position in the 42. As they make their way through the Bruno Ferrari chicane once more. Jack Love doing a great job here to defend from Tim Woods in the 96, who is still putting him under massive pressure as they run down the straight once again through towards Wilkins and into the right-hander, holding him off very nicely on the inside there. Look at the drive that they get off the corner, slamming on the throttle. Great grip off the corner.
Fantastic power these things have got on a huge circuit. We were talking to Mark Allen earlier on. These things will do, well, around about 130 miles an hour or more, and that 2 inches off the ground is an amazing, amazing experience. If you've never driven one of these karts, really, you should be getting in and having a go at the very minimum.
Well, absolutely. I mean, power to weight ratio, you're talking Formula 3 level in terms of the amount of skill and experience you get from it. Some fantastic racing through the field. Nice little battle there with Aaron Powell battling it out with Paul Gutteridge in the 42 as they make their sweep through once again down towards Wilkins through the right-hander, getting it nicely stabbed on the throttle. It's all about timing off the corner to be able to defend from the kart in behind you. You have to be able to place the kart through the corner nicely and allow the power to drive you out of the corner. And it looks as though Paul Lawson is really stepping up the attack in the number 4. He's caught onto the back of the 96 of Tim Woods, and he's really starting to challenge Woods and Love. And Woods knows that he's got to step up his game. He'll have a little bit of an inkling in the back of his mind there. Richard Morris in the 20, sadly, retiring from the race. It is a bit of a gutsy championship, this one. And oh no, Paul Gutteridge is gone as well. Paul Gutteridge in the 42. Now, those two were battling round about the same sort of part of the track together. I wonder if they've just hit bad luck at exactly the same moment, or if there's been a bit of a melee between them. It could have done for the last lap. And now Lawson making his move on Love. He's timed it to perfection. Right at the end of the race, he makes his move for 6th position, and that is grandstand timing. Absolutely brilliant. So Ross Allen closing in on the number 1. This could be a bit of a problem for Hassel. Allen setting the fastest lap, all the 4s, as he makes his way down into the Bruno Ferrari chicane. He could lunge right at the end of the lap here, and not far behind is Lee Stamp, just hoping that he's able to pick up some pieces if there is a little bit of a tussle. And it looks as though Allen is going to come from a long way back round the outside into Wilkins. Doesn't quite get there, but talk about bravery. He really made that one a good fight, and across the line, Hassel just hangs on in there from the 85 of Ross Allen, and 3rd place for Lee Stamp in the 2. Absolutely brilliant. Great last lap battle as well. In the lower positions, Lawson just pipping the 91 of Jack Love for 5th position. Burrows getting 4th place. Great tussle in this first race of the day here at the Superprix at Shenington. But it's James Hassel who stands on top, a 10th of a second ahead of Ross Allen and Lee Stamp, the last man on the podium. So 3 happy chaps pick up their trophies from Miss GB, Ashley Powell. We move on then to the 210 Challenge O-Plate Championship race. Matt Cardwell and Dan Berry on the first row of the grid from Graham Payne and Paul Fowler. Luke Plain in the O-Plate, hoping to defend his title with Peter Masson. Lee Plain is 7th on the grid, and he'll be one to watch. Away we go then for the 210 Nationals on the tuned Villiers engine with 42 brake horsepower, and they're all very cleanly through the first couple of corners and on their way down the straight once again.
That little dip in the straight there, we've noticed that before when we were commentating here before, didn't we, Jake? But on these karts particularly, they're so quick, that dip's got to be quite painful on the back, isn't it?
Absolutely, but even in a shorter race distance, you're really going to feel the bumps and the undulations in the track. It's really going to take a pounding to the back, and the drivers are really going to have to struggle for the fatigue over the course of the race. But out in front, it is your number 1 who leads the way here, Dan Berry, who has got the jump on the rest of the field. Number 10, Matt Cardwell, is still there in 2nd position, trying to make up the ground once more. 3rd position, swarming around then, it's the O-Plate, the man who's trying to defend his crown, Luke Plain, putting in quite a sterling effort. And here comes Lee Plain in the 14, surging his way through the field as well. They're keeping it in the family and both putting on a great performance. We've got a yellow flag on the run down to the hairpin. I wonder if somebody's got a bit of an issue there. Fantastic pictures once again from the helicam as they make their way into the hairpin. Bit of a squabble going on for the top 3. And some brilliant racing to come, and it looks as though the number 10 has got back in front. Indeed he has. Not only has the 10 got through, but so has the O-Plate. So it's Matt Cardwell who leads, and Luke Plain, the reigning O-Plate holder, who is in the first 2 positions. And it looks as though Dan Berry in the number 1 is really going to have to work hard to catch up with them again.
Just a bit of history on the O-Plate, the British Open.
Oh, a bit of a nudge! Oh my word, What was that? A bit of an O-Plate nudge there at the pack from the number 10, and Matt Cardwell put his hand in the air as if to say, what are you doing? Look at that! Shoves him wide, his arm is in the air, and there's damage.
He's got a problem, that's why he's put his arm in the air. I think his arm was going up in the air before the contact. I think he was trying to warn the drivers behind. Nothing the O-Plate could do about that. Nothing at all, so a little bit of contact, no real damage done, but looks like the 10 car obviously got some sort of problem.
Or maybe he just didn't get any acceleration, any power out of the kart through the corner, and he might have thought things were over, but he's still there.
Still running.
Yep, he's there in 3rd position behind Dan Berry in the 1. And here's the 14 of Lee Plain, trying to fend off from the attentions of Chris Callahan in the 6, while closing up on the pack in front. And out in front, look at the lead that the reigning O-Plate holder, Luke Plain from Exeter, has got here. Absolutely beautiful lead at the moment. Still the battling pair for 2nd position as Berry desperately tries to keep Cardwell behind. And here comes Lee Plain up into 4th position, past Graham Payne, and makes his way through. Those 2 completely unrelated, of course, just slightly different, slight differences in the surname. But it looks to me as though we've got a great battle for 2nd place. Here comes Cardwell, making his move around the outside of Dan Berry. He's gone right round the outside, and he's still there, side by side off the corner, down the straight once more towards the Bruno Ferrari chicane. And I'm not quite sure who's going to get there. Just hanging on in there for 2nd place. Good battle there from Cardwell as he once again keeps Dan Berry back. And of course, in this kind of class of racing, you can't afford to be too aggressive into the Bruno Ferrari chicane. And that's why the position was given up very early on.
9 kart's got a problem, pulls over to the side, allows them through.
Yeah, that's Adam Woodward.
And again,
more problems.
It seems it's out of that same corner again. He seems to have the same problem out of that same corner each time. So he's lost a place. I was saying earlier, Jake, the history of the O-Plate in karting. The British Championship is a series these days, the Super 1 series that we produce for Motors TV. As we see a move up the inside, do we? Is that going to be a move? No, don't quite get there. The British Championship is a series these days, but back in the day, the championship was a 1 weekend event. And here comes...
Oh, Cardwell makes the move. Cardwell makes the move on Berry. That was very nicely done because he had Lee Plain trying to make the move on him into the Bruno Ferrari chicane. And he suddenly thought, right, I need to try and make this move quickly. Otherwise, I'm going to lose another place. And that was very nicely done. Now, let's watch Cardwell. What does he do out of this hairpin? He's got more problems.
He's obviously got some significant problem around that tight right-hand hairpin.
And
I
here
don't
comes
know
Plain.
what.
Plain is into second
But
place.
he's gone now, isn't he? He's gone, he's out.
Cardwell has definitely got a massive problem this time, and it looks like it's terminal now, but Lee Plain has got himself into second place ahead of Cardwell. A little further into the race, and we can see that Luke Plain still out in front in the O-plate. He is impervious to everything behind, but Lee Plain has caught him right up, so it's keeping it in the family then for a 1-2 across the line. Nice finish there from Luke Plain, the O-plate holder, but unfortunately, we note across the finish line that Lee Plain was announced the winner. Luke Plain, the O-plate, was sadly excluded for a technical infringement. So it's Lee Plain who picks up the 2014 210 Challenge O-plate from Dan Berry in second. Graham Payne from Wickham ends up in third. So a very happy chappy at the top of the table there.